Oh, hello, friends. For a limited time, for 3 months, you can give a friend, an enemy, a frenemy, whoever the hell you want to, 3 months of TYT membership for just $25. Go to tytnetwork.com/gift to sign up. It is the best thing that you could possibly do for Christmas. I know, because I'm Jewish. Denise.
Yeah, so that's incredible. I mean, the fact that you're Jewish is a little misleading there, don't you think?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No. How many days of gifts do you guys have? You have one. How many do I have?
Depends how many holidays,
8.
parties you're going to, how many friends you're exchanging gifts with.
How many days, though?
1.
You know what I say to that?
I don't want to know.
Mazel tov.
Oh, amazing. So my question to you is, how was Tim Duncan almost with the Magic?
I have an answer.
Do you?
You know who else does?
I'm lost for words.
Bruce Bowen. Take a look.
When Tim went out to meet with Orlando, he asked this question: can family come on the flights to some games? And from what I understand, Doc said no.
Whoa.
And that's where he lost Tim Duncan. I mean, sometimes you got to bend some rules, don't you, Don?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I know that Jacory and Bart are probably going to be like, no way, no how should family members be on a team plane. It was the occasional team plane, number one. Number two, it's Tim freaking Duncan.
Right.
You would have changed the entire culture. And not only that, the prestige of an Orlando Magic jersey if you got Tim Duncan. And I don't know what history would have been for Greg Popovich. I assume he still would have won because he's a Hall of Fame coach for good reason.
Amazing.
He's amazing. But if he kept David Robinson a little longer, did not have Tim Duncan goes to the Orlando Magic, teams up with Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady, who they also signed via that free agency class, which was, I think, like 2000 or something. My God, would that emblem be so, so different. And this is another, what's the word? The antithesis to a feather in the cap. Like, this is another thing for Doc Rivers where we all are really frustrated with him, because I viewed him as an overrated coach when he was gifted Ray Allen, he was gifted Kevin Garnett in a trade, he drafted, or Rajon Rondo was with the Boston Celtics already, so was Paul Pierce, but his buddy Kevin McHale gave him Kevin Garnett while Garnett was still in his prime. It was the easiest deal in the world. Yeah, let me think about this. First ballot Hall of Famer, still in his prime, could guard 2 positions for Al Jefferson. Oh, deal. Yes, absolutely, positively. So this is another thing, okay? Aside from being gifted Kevin Garnett and all of them deciding to sign with Boston, this is another failure for Doc Rivers, once again, to go along with him formerly being GM of the Los Angeles Clippers. Because if you are a member of the if you are a member of the Orlando community and you're a diehard Orlando Magic fan, this story that Bruce Bowen had, and this is why a lot of ex-athletes put their foot in their mouths when we ask them questions because they don't want to make news. But this is news, and this is huge news. The fact that Tim Duncan could have been a member of this team, and I will put my name on it, win championships, and they haven't, changes history throughout the entire NBA landscape.
Absolutely.
And it's tough if you're a member of the Orlando community, because you know you should have had the big fundamental who's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And what makes it even more interesting is that Bruce Bowen and Tim Duncan had a relationship. You know, they played for 8 years together. So obviously there's been, chatter and they've talked amongst each other. And for all we know, Tim probably put this in his ear and was like, yeah, this could happen. And just imagining what,
oh my God.
A healthy Grant Hill.
A healthy Grant Hill, a healthy
Tracy
T-Mac.
McGrady. That would have been a big, it's a big 3. And it's really unfortunate just because it just adds to another shot that Doc closed down.
Yes.
Just something more to, because I'm not gonna say that Doc is a bad coach. I don't think he's an overrated coach. I think he's had good days and he's had good seasons and he's had great players.
You want to do this right now?
He's had good seasons and he has great players. I'm not saying he's the best coach. I'm not saying he's the best coach.
I think I
I'm
think
just
what
saying.
Doc. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying you're not giving him enough credit, and
I agree. I'm not giving him enough
and
credit purposely.
This doesn't add to my argument because again, he really effed this up. He
completely.
He shut down an opportunity of what could have been one of the greatest wing duos in NBA history.
Yeah.
Again, assuming that we're dealing with a healthy Grant Hill and a Tracy McGrady and then Tim Duncan in the lineup. But it's really unfortunate that it came down to his family not being able to come in and travel with
And again, it was the occasional team flight. Now, the Orlando Sentinel had a write-up, and this is like free agency 101. So according to the Sentinel, Duncan landed in Orlando. There was a huge banner of Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam, but it was like this making of Tim Duncan that they held up. They were given after-hours access to Disney World. Fireworks in the sky read, "Grant us Tim." There was a pool party at the Magic CEO's house. They went to the tee box at Isleworth Country Club. You know who was on the tee box, ladies and gentlemen? Tiger Woods. What a nice day to be there. So Tim canceled his flight the next day. He stayed another day. His then girlfriend, soon-to-be ex-wife, Amy Sherrill, asked Doc about occasionally riding on team planes. Doc said there's a policy, so basically no. Amy got pissed. Popovich allowed it. Curtains. Game, set, match to the San Antonio Spurs. And that is how they once again built a dynasty. I know, it's a weird story. Okay, to your point about Doc Rivers. What I don't like about Doc Rivers is, number one, there was nepotism with Austin Rivers because do I think he's a good, he's a okay quality role player,
Right.
Not a starter. He's like a 7th or 8th guy off a bench who could supply you good minutes and has okay defense, has bursts where he can score. The problem is it's too inconsistent. So I'm okay with the narrative being he shouldn't have got the money that he got. And because of that, we're even seeing it in the White House. Like nepotism is a thing.
Right.
So Austin Rivers got paid way more because his dad happened to be GM. I think Austin Rivers is a good player. I don't think he's worth anywhere near what he signed for. On top of that, his in-game decisions were just blasphemous. Like Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Rajon Rondo, that's 4 stars at the same time who are all pros. They carried the Boston Celtics to a championship. They also—
He had great players. I said he had great players.
Right, completely. They also, and I've said this previously, and then we'll wrap up, they also should have won more. Like that is a team that underachieved to the nth degree considering the core that they had. Now, is Kevin Garnett getting a little bit older? Sure. Paul Pierce was a cat with 9 lives who just kept going to team after team after team with Washington and the Clippers and what have you. But they should have won more than a single championship in Boston considering what Doc Rivers had. And he failed them many playoffs over and over again.
Fair. Still, I mean, the fact that he even got the team to a championship, I think that's fair enough to say he's not the worst coach.
No, I'm not saying he's
not
the worst.
The greatest coach.
I'm not saying he's the worst. I'm not saying he's the greatest. He's like a mediocre coach.
And again, I'm not in favor of Doc Rivers. For Pete's sakes, he coached the Celtics, and I'm a Laker fan. I'm not really like big on the Clippers, but I'm not gonna sit here and defend Doc Rivers. But at the same time, I'm not. It's not fair to say that he's a bad coach. Now, he did ruin an amazing opportunity where he could have had an amazing triple threat, and he let that go. And he's had a lot of things that he's let go, but he's also carried the Celtics just a tad.
The players carried
to a championship with the help of Doc Rivers. You can't discredit him from that championship.
I think I did.
I don't think you can though. It's not that fair.
All right, we'll let you decide. Thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to 2x2 Sports.